I guess I have to do this because it doesn't work like that, you know? Well, okay, so, all right.
Alrighty, hey everybody.
So hopefully everybody heard me in the first minute or so. So today we're going to go into a deep dive of the two EF4s or the one, both of them. Okay. Do we also want, do we also want to deep dive into the EF3 that was
Yeah, we
directly
can do
south?
that. Yeah, we can do that too. We can do it. Just let me go ahead and get one thing pulled up real quick. No, that's not it. Hold on. Ah, here we go.
You can pull it up online if you need me to, because
No, I can do it. I just gotta figure something out real quick. It's all good to go. But first off, hello, everybody. Welcome to Roaring Skies Deep Info Edition. On this episode, we will be discussing a tornado that occurred during the December 10th, 2021 outbreak, specifically the tornado, the storm system that produced the two tornadoes, the one that went through Haytime, Missouri, Sandburg, Tiptonville, and Manette, and the storm that would later go on to produce the Mayfield EF4. Thank you for joining us. And Mason, do you have anything you want to say?
okay. So I have on my map. Hold on. All right. Let me see if I'm going to use a link real quick. Actually,
I'm
let me
gonna
see if
gonna add this real quick. There we go. So this is the outbreak. This is what initially prompted the tornado right here. This moderate risk that you see in the red. This was actually issued. But this was actually issued on day one of the outbreak. And let me get to another thing on here real quick for y'all to see. But in case you all wondering, this was what occurred on December 10th, and this is the moderate risk. So this area right here is what prompted the risk or prompted the prompted the tornado that made the tornado happen. I apologize, but yeah, this is what made it all transpire, and I'm going to briefly quickly pull up another thing for us. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me get out of this real quick, and then we are going to go to this right about here. Here's another thing I wanted to pull up for us. And as you can see, there was a moderate risk that was issued on this day, and then the CAPE values in this area where the moderate risk was issued were over was about 1,000 joules per kilogram. 1,000 joules per kilogram is what is needed for a tornado to form, and is what is needed for a tornado and a severe weather. For a supercell to form, and this is the environment that was mostly affected by the outbreak. This area right here. And there was a couple tornado. There was a tornado up here by St. Louis that hit Edwardsville. There was another tornado in Bowling Green. But the one we're going to be focusing on specifically today is the supercell that produced two EF4s that tracked from like right about here all the way to right about here. So,
okay. So Nick, the reason why you see two me's is because there's
yeah.
I went ahead and have my computer in the feed as well.
Yeah.
So that's in case I want to share my screen, I will definitely do that.
Yeah.
I'll have to go to December 10th, 10 through 11, 2021. Okay. Okay. All right. So going to real quick go ahead and all right. So all right, Nick, I'm gonna real quick take over for a second.
Sure. Go ahead. Let me stop sharing this for a second. All right. There we go.
Okay. So so this is all the warnings that were issued that night. These were the tornado warnings issued that night, actually.
And as you can see, that there was multiple across the Mississippi River Valley in the Midwest. Let's scoot up a little bit so I can see the screen a little better.
Yeah,
And
okay.
whenever you're ready, I got the track all pulled up, the damage indicators and everything. Just let me know.
It just went ahead. Okay, so all right, so this is the polygon tier, as you can see. So up here, I guess it would be here.
Yeah, I see it.
Mm, So over here, this is how I'm looking at it here. So sorry, it's messing me up because it literally I'm doing two at once. Anyway, up here is all the tornado warnings that were issued. Um, by the way, all right, let me real quick go through a story time here. All right, so I know this is strictly off topic for a second. So, let me zoom into this area real quick. So this
Ready?
area specifically right here, um, the National Weather Service in Paducah did not issue that warning.
They didn't?
It was Springfield because the power had went out at the
Yeah,
weather
I
service.
forgot about that. Yeah.
At the weather service. So Springfield took over and they did the same thing that Paducah was doing. They continued to issue tornado emergencies for Paducah. The those storms were already almost out of the region by that time,
Yeah.
but they had to happen.
Yes, they did, Mason. Yes, they did. Because this outbreak was unlike anything I've seen in our area in a while. Like, I haven't seen something this violent in a while.
Like
And there was one thing
you know that Memphis goes ahead and does those um blanket tornado emergencies. December
yeah.
10th through the 11th and May 16th are the only days that I think that big of tornado emergencies were needed. Like I wouldn't have been mad if the national oh also
I'm
showing the
sorry.
screen here.
Do you need me to take that off?
I think it took mine off. It's fine.
Okay, here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this then. I was just wanting to put the outlook that was issued on the day one of this event right here. I'll go ahead and turn this off real quick for you. There you go. That way you can put your thing back up. Sorry about that, Mason. But
No,
anyway,
it's okay.
ladies and gentlemen, this tornado this storm that would produce two EF4 tornadoes would be responsible for 57 fatalities on this night.
And that was mostly on the outbreak going into Mayfield.
Yes.
Let me put this back up.
There we go.
There we
All
go.
right, there you go. And And this and in the first tornado that would touch down, that would be the first EF4. This storm would touch down just to the I believe the northeast of Jonesboro, Arkansas, and briefly produce two very weak tornadoes that would be on the ground simultaneously.
And by the way, what's on the screen right now is it's showing the warnings that were issued and also the threat too. It's in this
Yeah,
picture too.
if it's showing the moderate risk, it's showing the enhanced and the marginal. Or the slight, not marginal.
It's also showing a little bit of the marginal as well.
Yeah.
So the moderate risk was in effect for all of Randolph County, parts of okay. I don't think I can go into the details of counties. As you can see, the northern side of the Nashville metro was actually under a tornado warning at some point.
And,
on
you
that
gotta
night.
think and you gotta think that this was probably scary for them because just a little over a year previous, they had the, EF4 tornado that I believe went through Cookeville and the EF3 that went through the Nashville Metro in 2020.
Cookville? Cookville is an EF4.
Yeah, no, that's why I said the EF4 that went through Cookeville and then the EF3 that went through the Nashville Metro.
I'm gonna be honest, there was a lot if you look at a lot of these tornado warnings, some of these don't have tornadoes at all.
Yeah, they were just probably issued because these storms just wouldn't die on this night. Specifically, the storm that produced the tornado that would go this storm right here that you got the mouse on, and the storm that would produce the EF3 that would go through parts of Bowling Green. These storms just wouldn't die. It was just tornado after the other, after the
But you
other,
look at
after the
this
other,
one
after the
too.
other.
This was this one down here that I'm pointing at specifically was the second longest track tornado of the outbreak.
I believe that one was on the ground for 122 miles, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it was on the ground for 122 miles. And by the way, if
And
we
then
don't mention some stuff in this video, we will try to put we'll try to put some clips from our episode of this because we do have an episode on this tornadic outbreak specifically
yeah.
already. That was our second episode of Roaring
Mhm.
Skies
It's
that
just
we
on this one,
talked
ladies and
about.
gentlemen. It's just on this one, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that want the deep dive and the deep cuts of the storm that we didn't show previously, that's what this podcast is for the deep cuts and deep dives.
Okay, Nick, so I may need to say something real quick. At the beginning of the recording, I was laughing because I had just listened to the message that you sent me via random noise.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I did that.
Don't be sorry. It gives people content to go ahead and go after.
True that, true that. But that's funny though. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put on some of the environments that were I'm present
Okay,
on
so
this
I'm
day
gonna real quick
before the
mention this one. So this tornado warning, this tornado that went through Reynolds County, I think this is an EF2, I believe. Um, it touched down in Reynolds County. This tornado specifically did go so the tornado, the storm itself did hit my house, but it didn't, it was no longer a tornado warning by the time it was at my house.
yeah, it moved out of the warning area or the warning expired.
Yeah, so this warning that I have my mouse on right now, that
Yeah,
warning was canceled because the rotation was not substantial enough to warrant keeping a tornado warning on it.
yeah, I get you.
Go ahead.
No, I know. I was just saying I get you. Now, there is one thing that I want to mention. I'm going to show the environment that
Let me
was
see if I
taken
can hide this one
that
as a
took
count
place
here.
on this day. And now, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the environment that we were working with on this day. Now, for those of you that I believe I mentioned it a time or two on the podcast, um, uh, for those of you that do not know what Cape is, or not know what you're looking at here. This is called Cape right here. And for a severe thunderstorm to a supercell to initiate, all that is needed is 1,000 joules per kilogram of Cape. Anything above that is considered extreme. And as you can see, you got 3,000 down here in Texas, 2,000 down here in Texas and parts like this part of Texas, and there's some 3,000 down in Louisiana. But the one area that we're talking about right here, this had 1,000 joules per kilogram. And I'm gonna quickly Whoopsie. Gonna real quickly pull this
I
up.
mean, you can go ahead and put that up if you want to too. I'll
And by the way, this is the tornado we are going to be discussing. I mean, we're going to be discussing it from the time it started way down here all the way until the time it got right here. But these are the counties that it impacted right here. As you can see along this red line, the timestamps and everything.
by the way, guys, towards the end, we're also gonna mention the EF3 that occurred in Tennessee because
Yes.
that is important to go ahead and note too, because because of the impact that it did. And also, it was the second. Oh, that website actually has the website
Yeah.
actually has the warning polygons.
Do you
Go
need me to
to
go
it real
back to
quick.
it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
actually has the from storm reports. Click on that real
Yeah.
quick. See if it.
It's not allowing me to do anything. It's just staying right here.
Hold on. Let me. I'll go to the National Weather Service real quick
But
site
I'm gonna quickly.
and go ahead and go to it. Let's go to 2021, December 10th, 3011. It's in storm reports, right?
Yes.
Okay, hold
So
on.
while you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and since we already explained the environment and the risk that was issued on this day, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull up the track whenever it starts. So whenever you need me to show that on screen, just let me know because I'm at the start of the track.
Okay. I so all right. Let me real quick put this one up because I actually got it too. You'll see what I mean in a second, Nick.
All right, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. All right, there we go. Let me go full screen so I can see it a little better. There we go. All right. And these right here, most of these tornado warnings were issued for from this single storm that we were going to discuss. But however, there was a tornado warning that was issued for Paducah, but I think they mentioned it in the live broadcast that people there didn't need to take cover because it's just because the storm was so big that they included the county.
Oh, by the way, let me real quick zoom into this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay.
This is what I'm talking about.
McCracken County was not included at all in this warning.
Tip.
Just the just the line.
Yeah, because I remember
Paducah,
watching
okay,
the
so let me real quick say Paducah was not included in a tornado warning at all that night.
Yeah, but part of the county, I think, like a very small, like a small part of the county was because I was watching the live feed of it on that. I can't remember the news channel, and then they said that I'm aware.
WPSC, WPSC, they said they heard the sirens, but their phones were going off. But I need to clarify. McCracken County was not under the tornado warning.
Yeah.
It was just for, let me go down south. It was only for Graves. It was only for Graves and Marshall counties.
Mm-hmm.
It was not for McCracken. Also, this
Yeah.
tornado warning to the north of that was only for Massac, Pope, and Livingston and Crittenton.
Mm-hmm.
So McCracken County was only under a severe thunderstorm warning. Let me real quick tell you guys this one too. So this severe thunderstorm warning. You want to know something crazy about it, Nick?
What's up?
I think I mentioned it in the episode, but also, so this storm actually accelerated in speed around Murfreesboro and started going to the east at 80 miles per hour.
Man.
It started moving to the east at 80 miles per hour. So we had we had a lot going on that night.
Hmm. And now I just want to show you all the craziness of this singular tornado that was going through Mayfield. I want to show
And
you
as you can
this
see,
real
so
quick.
let me go ahead and real quick. Okay, so Fulton County, this is where it began to touch down as a tornado.
Yeah,
Tornado
but
emergency number 1, tornado emergency number 2, tornado emergency number 3, tornado emergency number 4, tornado emergency number 5. You see the pattern here?
yeah, and let me put this on screen to show you all something real quick, right? Here, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on screen. Get this on here. But this storm right here, I'm going to zoom out so you can see it. This storm was responsible. This storm touched down just over by Jonesboro, Arkansas, and it traveled. And as you can see, there's a gap right here where where the tornado dissipated, and the storm recycled and dropped this tornado. But this is right where the first EF4 would touch down, right about here. And around this time, there was
By the way, let me real quick,
This
let
is the part where the two tornadoes were on the ground near Jonesboro simultaneously, and then as soon as those dissipated, just to the north of Bay was when the first EF4 would touch down by Lake City.
all right, so I'm gonna real quick go ahead and go back to this. Oh, excuse me. There was also an EF1 tornado. Um, all right, EF2 actually. Let me zoom in real quick on this one. So there was an EF2 in
Truman,
Arkansas. It's to the south of the track. Go south a little bit. That EF2 there.
yeah,
So the description on this one is tornado developed just southwest of Truman and damaged numerous homes, businesses, and trees. Worst damage in northeast part of Truman with businesses and homes destroyed. The tornado path ended near the St. Francis River.
yeah. And then there, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, there was multiple tornadoes that touched down just south and of Jonesboro, Arkansas, and then these two tornadoes were on the ground simultaneously. But this one right
By
here
the
that
way,
touched
the
down just to the
Truman
north
one,
of Bay, that touched
can I
down
say
just to the
something about
north
the
of
Truman one real quick?
Yeah, before we go on.
So the maximum width of this one was 250 yards and also had 6 injuries. No fatalities.
Yeah. Here's the track right here. It looks like it crossed South Ozark Avenue and it made an impact. So this is probably where you said the worst damage occurred near East Speedway and what looks like does that say Wayne or Waves? I can't tell because let me zoom in. Wayne, yeah, it says Wayne. This is where you said the worst of
So
the
it
damage
crossed
occurred right
East
here.
Speedway Road, which is Highway 69,
Highway 69, you said?
and there is a photo for that. I will real quick okay, so I'm gonna real quick go ahead and real quick show everyone the screen here.
All right.
So this is the damage from Truman.
From that EF2 that was just south of the main one. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was for the Truman tornado, which you want to know a scary thing about it? There was a state game going on
Oh
in that
no,
area.
that's never good. It
There was
almost
a
reminds me.
there was a basketball game. It was championships. It was the championships that was going on. So that definitely is scary to say the least.
Exactly. And I gotta put this on the screen just real quick. Let me go back to this. So this tornado that would later go on to impact Tiptonville, Sandburg, Hayti, Caruthersville, and
Oh, I was just letting you know that I was on the same tab.
oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that, Mason. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you want me to zoom out, I would do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here am I. Here, I can go ahead and take this off the screen if you need me to.
Okay, so
Yeah,
run
I'll go ahead
real
and take it
quick
off the screen for
here.
you. Alrighty.
So,
Start. I think it touches down there, like down around Jonesboro. I think you might have to. There we go. And then this is where the tornado started. As you can see, the tornado initially started off relatively weak, producing minor damage, but this would not be the same case for the communities that would later impact. It would later impact. So as you can
So
see, ladies and gentlemen, it started off with a minor roof damage, and but the tornado would grow in size and strength as it kept going on.
okay, so this is the first. Let me see. Yeah, they do have damage here. And this is EF1 damage, by the way.
Yeah, it just stripped just some shingles off of a roof and just bent some power poles down
So it did get stronger as it
as it
crossed Highway
progressed.
18.
Yep,
As it
and then the
crossed
storm.
so as it crossed Highway 18, this was what the damage looked like as it was crossing Highway 18.
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is a continuous theme. The tornado's damage keeps getting worse and worse and worse as its track progresses. So I hate to say it, but it only gets worse from here,
It
ladies
did
and gentlemen.
weaken after it stretched just north uh of Lake City, but then the
Yeah.
damage gets worse and then all right, let me real quick go ahead and show you this one. This is as it's moving into Monette.
Yeah, whenever the tornado moved into Manette, ladies and gentlemen, the tornado would reach EF3 strength as it approached Manette, and as it hit a nursing home inside of Manette, the tornado would reach EF3 strength.
It hit this area and then it hit a low rise building. Let me
Yeah.
real quick show this one.
Yep, that's the nursing home. Yep,
This
that's the
has
nursing home.
on this one it specifically has two pictures. So this
Yeah.
is this is the second one that's about to show.
And ladies and gentlemen, I hate to tell you, but you think this is bad, you ain't seen nothing yet as this tornado progresses and it gets closer to Mayfield. So I'm sorry, but it only gets worse from here.
I'm gonna real quick scurry it on to straight to the
Hold on. And then
straight
after
to
this
the
tornado, after
EF4
this tornado
damage real quick.
after this tor after this tornado would hit the town of Manette, it would also go on to hit Leachville, Arkansas, and inflict more EF3 damage. And as Mason just mentioned, the tornado would later go on to would get even stronger and would reach the outskirts of Hayti, in between Hayti and Braggadocio, and produce its first damage that was indicative of EF4 strength.
This is the EF4 damage that occurred at the intersection of Highway J and Highway 407.
And the scariest part about this is there's actually some footage of this on a storm chaser who goes by the name of I think his name is Max Olson, and then right as the tornado starting to inflict EF4 damage, it would hit a house where a family was taking shelter, tragically killing a 9-year-old girl, and may her soul rest in peace.
So
That's just terrible, man.
this is from
God bless that family
the
and may
damage
that sweet
that
little
occurred,
angel rest in peace.
and then it did and continue just south of Tiptonville, produce EF3 damage. I'm going to real quick, go ahead and show you this one. This is in I think Lake County. Let me
Let me zoom in. Hold
this is
on.
from Lake County here. This was when the tornado was producing 138-mile-per-hour wind, and this was in yep, it was in Lake County.
And this tornado would just go in between Tiptonville, and it would hit the north side of Wynberg, and then right before it dissipated, right here in this tree line, by Sandburg, the tornado would impact an area called would impact I believe Sunkissed Beach or Blue Bank, and it would reach EF4 damage again over here before it impacted Sandburg. Let me pull
Sandberg?
up
No,
some of those pictures to show you.
I don't think it reached EF4. Wait, hold on. Okay, now I see it. Sorry.
Yep. You're
Sorry,
good.
Nick. I
You're good,
didn't see
buddy.
it because it was kind of so
Is this by is this by Sunkissed Beach, or is that over by Casey where you were sharing that at?
Um, okay, so this is near the Reelfoot Lake State Park area, which is along
Okay,
Tennessee Highway 22 and 21.
I just wanted to make sure because this tornado would just go south of Sunkissed Beach and Lake Drive, and this would be the second. And as you can see on the screen right there, ladies and gentlemen, the tornado would once again reach EF4 intensity here. And then as the tornado progressed, it would go on to impact the community of Sandburg at EF2 intensity.
And then the tornado to the north went ahead and dissipated. I'm gonna
But the
real
storm,
quick go ahead and show you the so an EF2 tornado touchdown, EF0 tornado touchdown just to the east, but this is gonna be kind of a difficult situation here because it's, as you can see, it's like that.
yeah. Yeah, you're
As
going to
you can
have
see,
to.
it's like that. So I can't really turn it from here.
No, it's all good, bud. It's all good.
So yeah, that's the thing that we have to. So it had some damage, is all I gotta say about it.
Yep, but the
Let me
tornado
see if
after
the second, okay, the
I
second
forgot to mention
picture.
this. I, I forgot to mention this. As the tornado would lift, as it would strike the community of Sandburg, the tornado would be on the ground for over 80 miles.
Yeah, it
And then,
was on the ground for over 80 miles. Um, okay, so this tornado, there was a second tornado that occurred, but there's no pictures for that one.
yeah. The little green dot right here,
The
across Marvin something road.
Okay, so I'm just gonna start at the beginning of this one. So the storm date for 8:49 on the 10th. You wanna know something something, Nick?
What's up?
They didn't survey this tornado. Memphis didn't survey this tornado specifically until the 14th.
Hmm.
So this was EF0 at the beginning of this tornado, of the the tornado that would eventually hit Mayfield.
Yeah.
That's what this one is. So, and then real quick, let's go ahead and see if we have any pictures here. We do. We
Alrighty.
do. So this is when it was starting to do EF1 damage.
Is this when it
And
touched down near Woodland Mills?
yeah, that previous picture was. It's about to show you a picture in Casey.
Hold
So
on, before we get to Casey, I got something I want to say real quick. And mind you, ladies and gentlemen, the first EF4 tracked for more than 80 miles, but this second EF4 that the storm would cycle and produce would be on the ground from 8:49 p.m. to 11:47 p.m., so almost 3 hours. And this tornado would grow on to be 1.13 miles in width and be on the ground for over 167 miles.
165.
I mean, not 67, 165. I mean, I'm sorry. I was looking down at the 1.657. I'm sorry. And this,
One
yeah,
one
sorry.
165 miles, letting you guys know so that you guys don't get the wrong idea. So this is from
Yeah.
Casey. This was EF1 damage.
That's from Casey, you said?
Yeah, it's from the southern edge of Casey.
And let me pull up the radar or the damage indicators real quick because the tornado would touch down near the Woodland Mills area, the Mayfield tornado would, and as it approached Casey, the tornado for the first time in its life on the southern edge of Casey, would reach EF4 strength for the first time.
This is the southern edge of Casey, but it's
Yeah.
EF2 damage, so it continued to grow. And I'm showing you all the damage indicators and pictures. That's what I'm doing. Let me real quick. So this tornado went ahead and started producing EF4 damage on Casey School Road, State High, State Highway 94. So let me real quick go ahead and show y'all this picture here of EF4 damage in parts of Casey. This is actually in the western side of Casey that's about
And
to pop up.
Mason, while you're doing on, keep talking. I'm gonna pull up the radar and try to stop it whenever it gets over Casey, because I want them to see the debris ball.
There you go. That's the damage from Casey, the EF4 damage.
Let me find let me find it
Nick,
when it's over Casey.
okay, so this is the EF4 damage from Casey.
Yeah. I'm real quick trying to find the damage whenever it went through Casey. Trying to find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can pause it. Nope, I cannot. Okay, but I'll just put the radar on a continuous loop. Wait, no, this is whenever it's impacting Mayfield, so I can't do that. Never mind.
Okay,
But
so I put it back on the indicator map real quick.
yeah, yeah.
So of course it did start producing EF4 damage in Casey, or is where my mouse is there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to real quick. So as this tornado went further to the northeast, as you can see, this tornado got wider
Mm-hmm.
here, and then it got less wide. And then in Mayfield, it started producing EF4 damage again in Mayfield.
Yep, and let me see if I can find the
This one doesn't
and
have pictures.
mind you, let me see whenever it hit Mayfield, because I'm scrolling through the what's it called? And right before the tornado would impact Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen, the National Weather Service would go ahead and issue a tornado emergency because the debris ball on this thing
This
was.
was as it was moving into Mayfield.
Yeah, that's what I said. As the tornado got closer and closer to Mayfield, they would go ahead and issue a tornado emergency, because this is what they saw on radar. And I'm going to quickly put that up on screen right now for all of you to see, if that's all right with you, Mason.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll put it back up in a second. I was just gonna put the picture up
Yeah.
from
This
Mayfield.
is what this is what they saw on radar right here as the tornado was moving closer and closer to Mayfield. And now you see where that pink ball is down there? That is all debris. That's all debris right there. And then as you can see on the correlation coefficient, there is strong rotation, and I mean strong rotation over Mayfield right here, which would prompt the tornado emergency to be issued. And if you look south and around Mayfield, all of this blue right here that you see, this is all debris right here, ladies and gentlemen. So that's what would
Some of
prompt
it
the.
may not be debris, by the way. I need to bring that up real quick because
But most of it is,
it was very
because
close to
most
the
of it is
radar.
though. Yeah,
It was very close to the
most of it
radar,
was
so
though.
it's definitely with that. I'm going to real quick go ahead and share
But
the
this was the tornado as it approached Mayfield, and then here's the debris you see right here around Mayfield, and here's the strong rotation as you can see, and then that's all for that. So go ahead, Mason. I'll go ahead and take this off the screen so you
and
can.
then here's the here was the damage that left behind.
And I just want to make one thing clear, ladies and gentlemen. I think me and Mason have mentioned it by chance previously, but right before this tornado moved into Mayfield, it would go on to destroy a candle factory, and many workers had gotten the tornado warnings on their phone, and they were telling their bosses they were going to leave, but they were threatened with termination if they left, causing over. I think it was like 9 to 10 people to die because they were crushed because the building collapsed, and many more to be injured, leading to multiple lawsuits towards the company.
I think it was more like 15 or 16 people.
I know it was around 10 or something like that. I know it was, like, in the around the double digits. I do know that.
So this is specifically that stuff. Anyway, I actually hold on. Okay, so the first tornado we had, I actually did track the first tornado.
Yeah.
So I'm going to real quick go ahead and go to that. If you guys get my drift there.
Mhm.
Because I can look back at that and help you guys with that because it's definitely something that I can do here and okay. So this was when the tornado was south of Hornersville. Here,
Yeah.
as you can see, it had debris. It had a very defined debris signature.
Yeah, that's a big debris signature. That indicates that there is that, ladies and gentlemen, that's called a debris signature, and that means that this tornado is powerful enough to pick up trees, shingles, stones, and throw it skyward.
Okay, let me real quick go here. So I had tornado emergency already on there on the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had that up there for me. So
Mhm.
so right here was where this tornado was going. This was at near Hornersville.
Yeah.
This is in Missouri. Let me see if I can real quick. This is the velocity
Correlation
that
coefficient. Well, yeah, the velocity, not correlation
this is
coefficient.
velocity. So this is the velocity here. So the velocity here was that's the
Wow.
correlation
That's all I
coefficient.
can say is wow.
But it that one had not been updated yet, and that's the update that happened.
Man, look at that debris signature.
Let me real quick go ahead and go further in this video. That's still in the same area there, so I'll real quick go ahead and go further here. Hey Nick, is it showing on okay, I guess I'm looking at all the this part I'm looking at all the tornadoes that were occurring.
It's still showing the debris ball just to the east to northeast of Hornersville.
Okay, my I think my okay, I think my connection went sour on that
I
side.
can put on I can hold
Can you
on.
take that off real quick?
Yeah, I can put something else on here real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna put on the tornado as it impacted Mayfield since
I had
we're
to go
talking
ahead and
about
take
it.
that off because my computer was starting to mess up on me.
You're good. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the tornado as it impacted Mayfield and show you and put this on the screen, and I'll let you take over real quick. And this is the tornado as it went into Mayfield. And as you can see, there is EF4 damage all over down here, down here, down here. And now let's see if we can get a damage right here. And then this warehouse building, tilt up walls, or heavy timber construction. And then it says total destruction of large section of building or entire building. And then right here, we do have some pictures right here. Right here. Let me put this on screen. Let me go back to that. Oopsie. And this is EF4 damage in Mayfield, right? Some more EF4 damage that was in Mayfield earlier, right before the tornado would go directly into the heart of the city. And then after that, we're going to go up to here where, and the tornado emergency, I believe, got issued as the
Just
tornado.
it was issued at 9:27
So wouldn't that make the tornado technically like right here or here then?
when the tornado emergency was issued.
Yeah, let me go to the
Okay, the
let me go to
tornado
well, let me
emergency was issued as it was crossing I-69 and Highway 45.
okay.
If you look back at the map, it was crossing I-69 Highway and Highway 45 on
Okay,
that
here we go.
map.
Let me scroll.
69 and 45.
69 and 45 you said?
That was when the tornado emergency was issued. So
Okay, so here's 69 right here.
I think it was issued when it crossed the second time.
Let me zoom up a little bit.
It was issued as soon as it was going into Mayfield.
Yeah. And then
Okay, so I applaud the National Weather Service's response on that night. However, do I think do I think the National Weather Service Paducah should have took Memphis's advice on issuing blanket emergencies? Definitely,
mhm, because
because
in this case
that night there was EF4 damage.
mhm, if there was ever a time to issue a blanket tornado emergency would be this night because once again, we gotta zoom into this. Look at this. You see EF4 here, EF4 here, EF4 here, and I'm gonna see if I can click on this one. I think you
One F
already showed this.
one.
And here's some more of the EF4 damage that would take place. I'm gonna have to go back to the website
It
right
should
here.
it should if you're on Chrome above it. If you click on the link there, you can actually click on share instead because that's what I was doing.
Whoopsie.
Everything all right over there, Nick?
Yeah, I'm good. I just had to turn my phone down. But this is some more of the EF4 damage that would occur in Mayfield right here. And at this point, Mason, I believe the tornado was a mile in width.
I think it was a little actually that may be accurate. I don't know.
Because at that picture I just showed you, the tornado, it had wind speeds of, it says right here, complete destruction.
188 miles per hour is what it said on the damage.
Yep, and then it said complete destruction of all or a large section of a building, and I'm going to go ahead and show more damage as the tornado continued through Mayfield, and this is just, I believe, to the north of Indiana Avenue, and there's no pictures for that, but it does say total destruction of large section of building. I'm going to try to get this one as it crossed East Broadway, and we do have a picture. Okay. And then I'm going to share that on screen.
It
Here's
just
some more
failed.
EF4 damage from Mayfield.
There it is. Okay, there we are. Okay,
And what? Go ahead, Mason.
so this is a example of EF4 damage, is what Nick is saying here. This is
And
an
this
example of EF4 intensity damage.
and this was as the tornado was getting ready to, I believe this, let me see where this was taken on. This photo specifically right here was taken on, it was taken when the tornado was on East Broadway Street. So the tornado practically at this point was almost out of
By the
Mayfield
way,
moving.
also check the survey date too.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yep, it's from the very next day around 8:40 in the morning.
Yeah, St. Louis, I think Paducah wanted to have it surveyed and done. That was the
Yeah.
main tornado that they wanted to survey.
Yep, and then mind you, this damage that you see on screen was on East Broadway Street, and as the tornado would leave Mayfield, the tornado would come very close to the town of Benton.
Benton.
Would
Benton,
come
Kentucky.
very close to the town of Benton, and I'm gonna real quickly pull that up
Okay.
so we can.
Nick,
What's up?
did you say real quickly or grill quickly?
Real quickly. I'm sorry. I'm the way I say things. It's.
It's fine. It's fine. I make the same. I do the
Hey,
same.
hey, don't feel bad. I got kind of an accent when I say certain words. I'm sorry.
Like this. It's like an accent, but it's not.
Trying to find Benton on here because these damage indicators are kind of obstructing my view a little bit. Let me see right here. I think I found it.
Okay, I just need to turn down my light a bit.
But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, as this tornado would leave Mayfield, the tornado would set it would come very close to hitting the town of Benton, which here it is. I found it. I found it. The tornado would go just to the north of Benton, sparing
It
numerous lives.
actually
But
hit the
however,
north. Actually hit the north. I believe the northern part of the city.
I will put the damage. I'll put the track on the screen right
By the
now for
way,
you
I
to
need to
see.
clarify. Benton is not a town; it's a city.
I mean, yeah, I apologize, but the city of Benton. But at this point, as the tornado approached the city of Benton, another tornado emergency was issued.
And this was also by the National Weather Service in St. Louis because the warning that was issued next after they went ahead and there wasn't a tornado warning issued just northwest of northeast actually of Paducah, but that tornado warning did not have a tornado with it.
No, it didn't. But I just
The
want to
National
say
Weather
that,
Service in Springfield went ahead and issued that warning. They issued it based on the environment and also based on what they saw with the radars in Evan near just north of Evansville and the radar on Scott Air Force Base.
hmm, and as you can see, this thing, I'm going to zoom in. This thing came very close to hitting the city of Benton. It went just to its north right here, but it spared the city of Benton. But in doing so, the tornado set its sights on the small community of Cambridge Shores. And then right as the tornado hit Cambridge Shores, it would reach EF410 City once again. And let me put that on screen. And as you can see, the damage indicator right here was all walls collapsed, wind speeds
Up
of
real
170 miles per hour. What's up?
Go up real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so it was the same. It was the day after that they surveyed it.
Yeah. And then I
Yeah,
actually have.
Paducah gets right on it. I mean, I think the Memphis team was focusing on the EF4 that hit Hayti
Yeah. And yeah.
because that one specifically did a lot of damage.
Yes, it did.
Oh,
Let me. And this would be some of the EF4 damage. That would be. No, that would be. That would
okay,
be
so
in the
controversies
community
that
of.
okay, so we need to talk about some controversies that came out of this outbreak.
Yeah.
So after the surveys were finished on the outbreak, the EF4 intensity, the EF4 rating had a lot of controversy with it.
and we are gonna get to that
People on
eventually.
people on people on Twitter, which is now called X, went ahead and said, "This tornado was an EF5. This tornado was an EF5. Why would you rate it an EF4?" And the answer to that is simple. The National Weather Service has guidelines they have to follow for surveying these tornadoes. They can't just rate a tornado EF5 just because they want to.
There's certain things that they have to follow in order
There's certain
to give it that
criteria
mythical
that have
EF5
to
status.
go for them to issue an EF5 rating, which with the Enderlin tornado, for example, that tornado got rated EF5 because it was told that, remember those train cars that went ahead and got flipped over from that specific tornado, that that was the reason why that it got an EF5 rating. And
And go ahead.
that EF5 rating was given because, so a team from Canada actually came down to go ahead and see, they determined what wind speed it would take for those train cars to be flipped over. You want to know what they said?
I think they said 210 or something.
260.
Oh,
260 is what they said.
heard a report of 210, so that was false information then.
It said in the report 260, but I think they said the train was in a bad condition anyway, so 210 sounded right. It
Yep.
said the tornado thing said 210 plus
Yeah.
is what it said. It doesn't give specifics because
Yeah, I get what you're
they're
saying.
still
Yeah.
surveying that tornado
Yeah, they're still
today.
surveying it. Yeah, because
So
we'll have to do an episode on that sometime in the future. It'll probably be a short one since the tornado wasn't on the ground for that long like how this one was, but we'll have to do an episode on it in the very future, and we'll do it. Do you want to do it here on the deep dive?
the the Innerland
Yeah,
the
because
Innerland
just like
one
we're
would
doing
be
with the main.
a short enough episode that it would probably just tie in with Roaring Skies.
Okay, yeah, that works. I was just wondering, if you want to do a long episode about it. Well, it's gonna have to be a short episode because the tornado wasn't on the ground for that long. But still, I think it's absolutely crazy that we had an EF5.
In
But anyway,
2025. Okay,
yeah,
so people had the meme. This meme.
this this
We got an EF5 tornado before GTA 6.
can you believe that? Can you believe
People
that?
say there's a 42% chance of Rihanna releasing her new album before GTA 6.
I haven't listened to her, but I'll take your word for it. But I just wanna I'm a I just wanted to make this clear. What Mason was saying is the reason this tornado had so much controversy surrounding its EF4 rating was from damage that we are going to show as we continue to
Like, this
follow
is
the
the
track.
damage that they're talking about here, by the way.
This right here, like I said, the tornado missed Benton, but in doing so, it hit the community of Cambridge Shores. And here's just one of the photos taken inside of Cambridge Shores. And as you can
So
see,
when the
that tree is.
tornado, let me make this point real quick. So when the tornado hit the towns of the cities of Casey,
Yeah,
Mayfield, and this Cambridge estates area, all those, the tornado was at an EF4 intensity, hitting Mayfield and Bremen at 190 miles per hour.
just 10-mile-an-hour shy of an EF5 rating.
So people are asking the National Weather Service to go ahead and reevaluate their EF scale, which they said they
Yeah.
would do this year, but since this year with the new administration and all, there's been a lot of layoffs for NOAA. And we have
But
to realize that that cannot happen.
and
The
also, oh,
NOAA
go
needs
ahead, Mason.
so the National Weather Service also had layoffs. We gotta remember, so our National Weather Services, Paducah's and St. Louis, they don't have a chief meteorologist at the Weather Service office, which that's sad. They don't have one on hand. That's just sad that they have to go through that, especially in 2025.
Mm-hmm. But I just want to continue on this, if you don't mind, Mason. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But this was when the tornado would hit Cambridge Shores. I'm going to show you one more photo from Cambridge Shores before we move on. Let me go back. I'll show you one more photo from Cambridge Shores, and then I want to show this thing because it produced some of the craziest damage, I think, of its life as it went past Dawson Springs. Because I got photos on here of the ground scouring that this thing did. But here's some more damage from Cambridge Shores. And the tornado once again would reach EF4 intensity in this small little community because it went to the north of Benton. But this is this is the damage that this thing caused. And like I told you all earlier, this thing only gets worse from here. And if you think this damage is bad and all this destruction is
And
bad,
by the
then
way, let me real quick mention Grant Dade, the chief meteorologist at KFES, had friends that were in that area. He
that's
mentioned
horrifying.
he mentioned it during that. He said, "I'm sorry, I'm texting my friends that are currently at this area. I'm trying to see if they are at their vacation home right now. If they are, I'm going to tell them, hey, I need you to get underground now. I need you to get underground now. You have literally 5 minutes or less before this tornado hits you."
And it's scary to think that mammoth, I mean, that's essentially what I call giant tornadoes, is mammoths or behemoths. But right after, that must have been horrifying to get a text from that, like your friend. I guarantee you, their adrenaline was just. I mean, I'm pounding my chest,
And
but I mean, y'all get the gist of
he's
that.
a meteorologist. His life's work is this.
And mind you,
So
whenever you
if
have,
you get on your phone, if a degreed meteorologist texts you and says, there is a dangerous storm heading your way, get underground now, you better listen to them.
they know what they're talking about. They're not in that position
They've
for no
been,
reason.
they've been, Grant Dade has been the meteorologist at KFES now for 11 years. He's been chief meteorologist. He's been doing weather for 20 plus years at this point.
I know. I remember watching him whenever I was younger too. All of this, but
And
and that's sad. And that's sad.
before that, Bob Reeves covered
Mm-hmm.
the area as chief meteorologist. This night for KFES, it was Grant and Lisa that was in for the weather situation.
Mm-hmm.
Grant Dade and Lisa Michaels, which Lisa Michaels is now at she's no longer works at KFES. She now does the weather in southern Wisconsin.
Yeah.
She works at Fox 6 in Milwaukee.
I didn't
Now
know that.
um so that's where she went, if you guys wanted to know that. So that's all we have to tell you there. Um so
And then
that night also someone else was also in the office. Um so Jeff Cunningham and Kathy Swinging were in the studio as well. They were relating the reports as well from the newsroom. If there were reports, they would let them know in the newsroom what was going on. And that night was just crazy.
It's definitely one of the craziest weather nights I've definitely lived through, but I just hope we never have to experience something on this catastrophic of a level again. It's crazy that these tornadoes were so violent. And I want to make one thing clear before we get to Princeton. There was 2 tornadoes that crossed the land between the lakes area this night. There was this was the Western Kentucky
Yeah.
tornado, and this was the tornado that would go on to be on the ground for 122 miles before producing another tornado that would hit Bowling Green. But back on to Princeton. As the tornado approached Princeton, yet another tornado emergency would be issued, and then as you can see down here, we got more EF4 damage indicators down here by the Princeton Golf and Country Club, which I'm going to pull them up for you right now. And then as you can see, the degree of damage is destruction of engineered or well-constructed residence slab swept clean, excuse me. And there's no images of this. I'm going to try to pull this one up. Hey, hold on. I don't think we can use that one. I think that one's copyrighted.
What did that say? Um, Click
Let
on
me
the
go back to
photo
this.
real quick and see if there's a logo on it.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, you can use that then.
And this was and then once again, the tornado reached EF4 intensity and inflicted all of this damage. Oh, the picture's not even up on the screen.
It should have been able to share instead on the top if you're
Yeah,
using Chrome.
I am using Chrome, but I'm having to manually put them on here. But let me zoom in real quick. This is once again EF4 damage near Princeton. And like I said, the National Weather Service would once again issue another tornado emergency for this
And by the
storm. And
way,
I
let
believe,
me just say, this is drone footage.
yeah,
This is drone footage. This is probably from the Princeton Cardwell County government stuff. And that
yeah.
government area, that's probably free for access. So just letting you guys know that.
Alrighty. And then there's something else that I wanted to put on here. Let me see. Let me go back. There's a let me here we go. The tornado would go south to Princeton and obliterate the and would obliterate and hit the Golf and Country Club. Um, and then right after it moved on from the community of Princeton, another tornado emergency would be issued for the community of Dawson Springs. And the tornado
They
would once
actually, I think,
again.
issued one going from western parts of Cardwell County into Dawson Springs, into Hopkins. So this tornado emergency specifically was for western Cardwell and east central Hopkins County,
Yeah. And
which that
real
in the
quickly.
local 6 region.
Mm-hmm.
Just to remind you guys, WPSC Local 6 actually covers more than their market. They also cover parts of Tennessee that's south of that and a little bit east. They actually cover one county to the west of Clarksville, Tennessee. So that's a
Are you mad at me,
tornado they
Sid?
definitely had to cover. That
Okay, I was just wanting to make sure that you were still here. I'm gonna, and ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to the part of uh, we're getting to the part where the tornado has Let me see. It says no attachments found right here. I'm trying to find the EF4 damage, and this has the tornado would.
I think that tornado thing, I think majority of it had that drone footage was the majority of it.
Oh no, that was in Princeton. This is in Dawson Springs.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, you're good. You're good. No problem, bud. No problem at all. I got you. The degree of damage right here in Dawson Springs was almost total destruction of top two stories. The tornado at this point had wind speeds of 180 miles per hour. I'm going to go ahead and
Click on the
pull
top.
this up.
Click on share this tab instead. Go to the tab and share this tab instead. There you go.
And then this is more EF4 damage from Dawson Springs right here. And now let me,
I'm gonna be
and
honest with you. That doesn't look like EF4 damage to me.
that's what they labeled it as, though.
That looks like EF3 damage.
They have it down as an EF4 indicator. Do you think heavy debris impacted this structure to cause this type of destruction?
Yeah, so that may have been EF4 damage, just the debris hitting that house.
Yeah, because at this point the tornado was pretty much a giant blender at this point. And let me
If it
back
was
out real.
giant blender, it would have been like the Gerald tornado.
No, but I'm just saying that's just anytime I see
If
a
it was a
debris
giant,
ball
okay,
or any.
so let me real quick clarify. If it was a giant blender, it would be like the F4 tornado that occurred in Gerald back in 1997.
I mean, I just call them blenders because of all the heavy debris and stuff that's in the air. That's pretty much just what I call it.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're good. And then I want to show some more. I want to see if I can before I show you before we move on out of Dawson Springs. There is something I want to show this because let me show something else on here. I'm going to show some more damage photos, and then we're going to move on to Bremen, where a good majority of the controversy takes place in Bremen. Let me see if I can find this
Bremen
photo.
and Mayfield is where
Well,
these
yeah,
controversy.
Mayfield and Bremen. Let me show you. Here is a factory that is in Dawson Springs that was hit by the tornado. Let me share this real quick. Oopsie. Oh, let me see if I got the right one. Yeah. Oh, nope, I can't show that. That's a storm chaser photo. Never mind. Let me
Oh, okay.
see. Let me see if I can find some damage in Dawson. This is some of the damage from Dawson Springs. As you can see, I'm guessing that this was a home at one point, Mason. That this was a home at one point.
Yeah, so that's probably why it was EF4.
Yeah, and as you can see, it looks to me
Real
like
quick,
this is
skip
partially
over.
dislodged
I'm
right
gonna be
here.
honest. Skip over to the Bremen damage.
Okay, let me go over to the tornado as it hit Bremen because I want to show
Oh, Bremen.
that.
I think Bremen's not. I don't think Bremen's in the go over to Bremen real quick, see if it's
Let me
in the
zoom out
National Weather Service area of Paducah.
because I might have to go to a different site. Hold on, let me see. Here we go.
Click on the
And this,
tornado damage of the EF4 intensity there.
there's
Scroll down,
no,
scroll up.
there's nothing there.
Click on the tornado damage.
Here we
Yep, it's
go.
in
But
Paducah. Yep, it's in
but
Paducah.
but as this tornado hit Bremen, I gotta tell you, there are some people who, and mind you, this is just my personal opinion. Don't take it as factual, but I believe the tornado, as it approached Bremen, that the tornado was almost capable of EF5 strength, but it did inflict more EF4 damage in Bremen, causing yet another tornado emergency. No surprise there. So I'm going to show you some of the damage from Bremen right now.
Yeah, it's up. So this is
This is
from Bremen.
yeah, and there's another one that I'm going to show too. while you guys check that one out, I'm going to show this other one, and let me see if I can find it. And then here's some more damage from Bremen. Here's some more of the EF4 damage from Bremen right here. Um, this right here is absolutely incredible. Like, you don't expect to see something like this in the
Month of December.
winter time. You usually expect to see this in like the
By
months
the
of
way,
March,
let me
April,
clarify
and
real
May.
quick. What type of winter we're talking about is meteorological winter, not astrological. Technically, if we're talking about astrological wise, we'd still be talking about fall. Just want to let you
And
know my thinking on it.
you're good, Mason. No problem at all. No problem at all. We can, I'm, just whatever helps them understand more of what we're talking about is what we need. And I just want to make this clear on this photo you see right here. This is the damage. Um, uh, right here is all the walls collapsed, and the wind speeds were measured at 170 miles per hour. So I have another photo to show you of this
Hey, Nick,
tornado
let me just say
as it
real quick.
reached what?
Okay, so I'll be right back. I need to go get a drink real quick.
You're good, no problem. I'm gonna keep us going. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this storm, as you can see, it produced two EF4 tornadoes, and so many communities and towns and cities were affected by this night. And I just, man, it's just this is just something that you just don't see it in the wintertime. You know what I mean? This is just something that you just fathom seeing in the summer months. You don't imagine seeing it, in the winter. And I'm gonna pull up some more damage for you of the tornado as it impacted Bremen, and I'm gonna share this to the stream for you all to see because I want to kind of drill this home of what we are looking at right here. I honestly have no words, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, none at all. Cause all of this debris that all of this debris that just scattered everywhere that you see, all of this EF4 damage that took place in Bremen, and this tornado was on the ground for 165 miles and impacted so many communities. And as you can see right here in this
Was this
picture,
damage with 190-mile-per-hour winds?
I will have to look real quick. Let me see. Let me see. I want to make sure. And this is one of the locations where in
I
Bremen,
think the
besides
most damage.
Mayfield, this is, yeah. Hold on. No, that's the wrong one. Let me go back here. Let me see. Let me look at the photos. No, that's not it.
It doesn't. By the way, it doesn't really show the show it unless you go ahead and go back to it on the damage indicator map.
I know. I'm going to it. Hold on. Let's see.
By the way, you guys, we're also gonna do a new episode of Normal Roaring Skies as well.
Absolutely.
So it'll be immediately after this one.
Hmm. And I'm trying to find it, Mason. Hold on. I'm trying to go through these indicators right here because there's a bunch
And
of
we've
them.
already been on this one for a few minutes.
But Mason, it says right here that the wind speeds, it says the degree of damage was all walls collapsed and the wind speeds were at 170 miles per hour.
So at Perryville, tornado strength.
Yes, absolutely. And as you can see, and as you can see, as after the tornado hit Bremen, the tornado weakened slightly and it would just track for
By the
longer and
way,
longer.
that the reason why it changed like that is because that's at that line is because that's covered by Louisville.
Yeah, that's out of Paducah. I mean, that's out of Paducah's. What's the word? It's out of their
Weather
coverage
service
area.
area.
Coverage area.
It's out of their CWA.
Yeah, it's out of their coverage area. And as you can see, this tornado would continue on and on and on, and finally, it dissipated near the Rough River Dam State Park. So, in conclusion about this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to make one thing clear that this supercell produced two long track EF4 tornadoes that one of them started right here just by Jonesboro, and the storm produced a violent tornado that would travel from here by Jonesboro all the way
East
up into. Yep, and this one dissipated just to what looks like the north of this, just to the northeast of Sandburg, and then the
Denver.
storm would cycle and drop another
I think I
tornado
should
near
mention
Woodland
a funny
Mills.
part about the report that they were reading
Huh.
at the studio. They originally, with the damage from Sandberg, they had Sam's song,
Yeah, I saw that.
and they corrected it immediately after they saw, oh, oh, we made a mistake. Let's change it.
I saw that. I kind of laughed about it, but I was trying to. I laughed about it, but I was like, man, can we make jokes later because this just don't look good.
This was from the National Weather Service. That was from the National Weather Service. They have to read out that report.
Huh?
That was from the National Weather Service. So they had to. It wasn't a joke. They just accidentally put Sam Sam's song
Yeah, because they were trying to
instead of
figure
Sam.
because they accidentally mistake Sandberg for Samsung. But like I said, this tornado, the first EF4 touchdown right here would be on the ground for over 80 miles, damage Hayti, and then like you said, Mason, you caught it like when it was about like around here or by Hornersville, you said,
Yeah, by Hornersville.
and this was.
By the way, guys, I was doing coverage that night. That was the first tornado outbreak I had ever done coverage for.
And mind you, what a heck of a night you chose to pick because this ended up being the deadliest tornado outbreak ever in the month of December. What an outbreak you chose to cover.
And it was at the time, it was the most active of December. It would be later actually rivaled. It would actually that tornado it so it was a record for the most tornadoes ever in the month of December.
Mm-hmm.
But 5 days later, we had that super that derecho event.
Derecho? Yeah, I was gonna say
That
derecho, yeah.
derecho event that produced more tornadoes than this event. So
Man,
2021 was definitely
a year
more
to remember.
active than other years.
Yeah,
Besides
especially in the
2011,
month
of
of
course.
December. Yeah, 2011.
We will which we'll talk about on normal Roaring Skies next week.
Absolutely, because there's so many
I
tornadoes
think
that
we should talk about okay, so real quick. I think we should talk about the entire year of 2011 in general.
absolutely. I would love to because there's so many tornadoes from that year I'd love to cover. But
And
Mason,
that with Roaring Skies, that will probably be our longest episode ever.
oh, yeah, absolutely. Grab you some popcorn and grab a nice drink and sit back in your chair and prop your feet
This
up and
is
get
already
comfortable
the
because it's
longest
gonna
one
be a
I've ever
long
done.
one. Hey, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted just to do a deep dive into this because I told Mason I got out of the weather world for a while, and this tornado, well, two tornadoes in particular is what got me back into it. So before we conclude, in conclusion, this supercell produced two violent tornadoes. It touched down over here by Jonesboro and then dissipated
It
outside of
shut down
Sandburg.
multiple EF zeros and
Yeah,
EF1 before it became violent tornadoes.
and hit Mayfield, and then this would go be on the ground for 165.7 miles. It would travel from Woodland Mills all the way right here to the Rough River Dam State Park. And here's the summary report that I
We
want to
also have
show you.
another tornado that also occurred, which was an EF3 tornado that was on the ground for 122 miles.
Yep, and then here it's right here just like and then it's right here just like I said. And before we get into it, I
It
want to make
touched
one
down
thing
in
clear.
Dyer County.
Yeah.
It touched down
Here's
in
the
Dyer County, just to the north of Dyersburg. It touched down in Newbern.
Yep, it touched down in
Click on that
Newburgh.
orange real quick on there.
You mean the yellow?
Not the indicator. The orange, like the orange line there. Go up real quick. Click on the arrow there. Click on the arrow there. It'll there you go. Click on zoom 2. Down there. Go down. Oh, ooh. Go to zoom 2 down on the bottom. The zoom 2. Go down.
Hold
Nick,
on.
click on the zoom 2. Up. That's not what I was saying. So
Okay, hold on.
go down there to the left, bottom left. It's on the
Okay.
bottom left. It's on the bottom left, not that. That one. Then press the X real quick. There you go. That shows the entire tornado.
Okay. And mind you, like I said earlier about the Mayfield tornado, in conclusion about that one, the Land Between the Lakes recreational area would have 2 tornadoes. Go through it on this night.
And by the way, the land between the lakes, both of these tornadoes crossed them twice. And by the way, the EF3 did enter parts of Callaway County, but there wasn't no reports because it was on the edge. And by the way, the reason why I want to mention this tornado, the EF3,
Yeah.
is because this tornado was wider than the tornado to its north.
I think the Mayfield tornado at one point reached what, a mile or more in width?
This tornado, the EF3, was at some point 2,000 yards. 2,000 yards, which that
Wow.
is over. Okay, so let me real quick calculate that. 1,000, 2,000 yards. How many yards is in a mile?
Are you talking to me or your phone?
Yes, I'm talking to you because I can't talk to my phone. I'm on my phone recording the episode.
I'm not the greatest when it comes to that, so I'll just look it up because I don't want to say I know and then I don't know and then embarrass myself. So, what did you say?
How many yards are in a mile?
I don't want to say that and then embarrass myself. There is exactly 1,760 yards in a mile.
Okay, so this tornado was 1.1314 miles wide.
It was what?
1.13636363. Okay, so in conclusion, this tornado was 1.13 miles wide. Technically, I
The
would have to say 1.14. miles wide because there's a 6. It's 1.1363 repeating
Yeah.
because
You still there, Mason?
yeah, I'm hearing myself through your feed there.
I'm posting it on my Snap story saying y'all wanted a behind the scenes and now I'm giving you one. But yeah.
Oh, goodness
But
gracious.
this tornado right here, the one to the south of the Western Kentucky tornado, this would be the second longest track tornado of the outbreak, coming in at 122
123.
miles.
122.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm gonna real quick go ahead and the difference of mileage between the 2 tornadoes was 43 miles,
Yeah.
but
Let
by the
me zoom
tornado
into
track.
that real quick.
By the tornado tracks, specifically.
Yeah, as you can see, this is the Western Kentucky
165
tornado.
minus 122 is 43. 43 the Perryville, not Perryville, shoot. The, sorry.
You're good. You're good, Mason. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, just, I think we need to move on.
Yeah. We will talk about this tornado in a deeper discussion. Mason just wanted to briefly mention it, and so did I, because I think it's fascinating that two tornadoes hit the land between the lakes region this night, one to the north and one to the south. And but in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the Western Kentucky tornado is one of the craziest tornadoes I've ever seen because it produced two long track EF4s, and this supercell is responsible for the deaths of 57 and responsible for the complete destruction of some big and small communities. And if any of you that are watching live in these small communities, please give us your thoughts and let us know what happened or what was going through your head this night. And if you have a firsthand account, we would love to have you on here. So in conclusion, the this tornado outbreak was the deadliest ever in December, and there was so many different tornadoes that went on this night, and a couple violent tornadoes. So this just goes to show you that just because you're in the winter months, tornadoes cannot happen, and this is proof right here. So before
This
we
is proof
conclude,
that,
Mason,
that can
what's
happen.
up?
That's proof that
Absolutely.
that can happen. Alright, everyone. That
But
is
before
it
we
for that
conclude,
specific discussion.
Mason, do you have any additional thoughts that you would like to throw in?
I think I think you actually went deeply in depth with this one.
Yeah, I did. I kind of lost my voice a little bit.
I think we need to reevaluate our voices.
Yeah. Hey. I
All
got
right,
some
this
water right here.
concludes our first
First
episode of
episode.
the diving of this.
And if you guys want to see more episodes of this, please let us know. And thank you for taking the time out of your
Also
day,
comment in
everybody.
our social media if you want to, because
Yeah,
we will definitely listen to it.
absolutely. I love
If it's
suggestions.
reasonable.
Yeah. uh, but in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Jonesboro or the Woodland Mills to the Rough River Dam State Park. A supercell that produced these two violent tornadoes. If there is anything we missed or if there is anything you would like to add, please drop it down in the comment section down below. And Mason, I'll let you take it away.
All right. Thanks everyone.